It's fucking cold. How cold is it? What's the weather today? What's it say? It's so fucking brisk 69 degrees in our house for all of our friends on the East Coast right now.
All right.
Get your hats, get your scarves.
I guess you ready to start?
Yeah.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the fucking podcast. I guess this will probably be the first one we put out, right?
I don't know. We've said that a couple times on different
All right.
episodes. So
if
you
this-
know, X amount. This is first episode number 3, 4, or 2, or 1.
Welcome to the podcast.
Cheers, everybody.
Betty, do you have?
Anything to add?
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
I agree.
You heard it here first.
What an astute observation, Betty.
So for those of you guys who don't know, this is our podcast. We had this before. We used to do it. We stopped doing it because we couldn't stay consistent during the COVID times. Now we're back at it. We live in California now, not Philadelphia. Go Birds. Hopefully this will be out before the Super Bowl.
This is post NFC Championship game. Poor 49ers. The poor 49ers.
Now,
bro.
I don't really want to talk about sports because I don't know anything about
He's
sports.
not a footballer.
However, I will talk about the Philadelphia fans. Let's paint the picture here. What year did they go to the Super Bowl?
2018.
It's 2018. Your boy right here. I live in Boston, Massachusetts. I hear that the Birds are going to the bowl, and I make my way down on a bus. We watch the game. Again, I don't really follow sports all that much, but we rush into the streets. And I don't know. I feel like a lot of people saw TikToks or like Instagram videos and Facebook shit and YouTube shit, and then you see all this craziness, and they're like, "Oh, that's wild." And I feel like sometimes you see that about an event. Oh, it looks really, really wild, but in reality, it's not that crazy. That truly was as crazy as it was. Like, for example, the Philadelphia fans had pulled down a what's it called? A light post.
Mm-hmm.
And there was live wires across the sidewalk. Thousands of people just stepping over live wires. You could hear it like buzzing.
Definitely a current that would like kill you.
Yeah.
It's like pretty much just like the equivalent of like walking on like a train track and like casually stepping over the third rail, you know? The
Casually.
Infamous third rail. And also while like everybody like 10 drinks deep at least just fucking obliterated drunk. But
or concussed in your situation.
concussed, yes. But all right, fine, we'll go down that route. Why? Whatever. So we're watching, we general friends have a powwow for the Super Bowl at a friend's apartment in West Philadelphia near Drexel's campus. And the host of said party is a friend of ours that is a New York Giants fan. So despite the fact that he had been living in Philadelphia for 3 years at that point, and all of his friends are Philadelphia fans, and Philly's in the Super Bowl against the Patriots, who in my mind are equal villains to the entire NFL as like the Empire is to all of Star Wars fans and everything like that. They were just they needed to be destroyed.
Karl, Mr. Sports Guy over here, really passionate about his Patriots.
Fuck the Patriots, bro.
Oh, excuse me.
Just dynasties in general, and like the whole underdog thing with the Eagles is just way more. It's more enjoyable to root for the Eagles objectively, in my opinion, which makes it subjective.
Objectively, in my opinion.
Anyway, whatever. Fuck it. So this Giants fan, stupid idiot, we decide that we're going to take Jaeger bombs every time the Eagles score, but he wants to take Jaeger bombs because he's upset. And then I want to take Jaeger bombs when the Patriots score because I'm upset but I'm happy when the Eagles score. So we're just taking lots of Jaeger bombs, and I don't know if any of you care to recall the score of that game, but the final score was like 45 to 38 or something close to that. So not like 14-7, like only 3 Jaeger
Karl,
bombs kind
they
of
remember what the fucking score was. Let's get to the part that's entertaining
Just
about
saying
you
we
annihilating
drank
yourself.
like 12 Jaeger bombs. It wasn't like a small amount. Dick. Well, anyway, the second that the Eagles won, I sprint down 11 flights of stairs and out an emergency exit with a backpack that was full of half a case of beer and my laptop, unfortunately, and ran from 34th Street and down Chestnut to City Hall, where like 500,000 people or something, probably more like 80,000 people, were just like
A lot of people.
circling City Hall. Everybody saw it on the news. Fireworks, live wires, people climbing on ambulances, just mayhem. And like I just, let my inhibitions go and decided to climb a pole. And I'm trying my best to be a part of the culture of Philadelphia fans, and I'm climbing, and there's somebody already all the way up on the top. And the last thing I really remember is I'm reaching up.
I didn't know this part.
I'm reaching up and I'm like, yo, help me up. And I take his hand, and then I'm back on the ground getting shaken awake by random strangers.
I didn't know that. Bro, I think that guy dropped you.
Maybe. I don't know. I know that I got his hand. Or I pulled him down off the pole. Like, I don't know what happened. But the next thing that happens, I swear to God, I'm on the ground. I'm standing, but I'm like getting shaken by strangers. My hand is all cut up and bloody. And I must have fallen onto my right side because like my right elbow, my right hand, my right shoulder, and my right hip were all fucked up, and my head as well. I forgot about that.
Jesus.
And the woman,
Bro, you're lucky you didn't die.
Yeah, of course. So are we all when the Eagles win.
Go Birds.
But the lady that was shaking me was like bawling her eyes out because she thought I was dead when that happened. So the one kid was just a random person who's probably 21 years old. And he's like, he's fine. But like, she's like, no, you can't leave. We called you an ambulance. I was like, fuck that ambulance. I am not getting in that thing. And the kid's like, fine, he's fine. What year is it? And I'm pretty sure I said 2017. And he goes, no, it's 2018. Who's the president? I was like, Donald Trump. He's like, he's fine. He can go.
Yeah.
And like, it's actually shoulder to shoulder. And it's obviously fucking mayhem. And then I just I turn and I start like just booking it away from the people that are trying to get me into an ambulance. The ambulance is like obviously 3 hours away, trying to drive there 1 mile an hour through a sea of people. And I find David and
somehow
Noah and Tyler.
Those are our friends.
In like 30 seconds it took. I don't know how the fuck that happened.
That or you were still like hazy and it took you a lot longer.
No. It was very immediate. Because remember, I was like, let's go. I'm ready to. I already fell and was knocked unconscious. Like, I'm ready to go. And you're like, we just got here.
Yeah.
I was like,
Well,
yeah, well, I had my Philly experience.
You know what else was like a total shit show, but also really fucking awesome? Desert Daze.
It's a different kind of shit show.
It's a different kind of shit show. So I don't. Yeah, this is my audition. This is my audition for Desert Daze. Desert Daze. I would like to play your festival. I'm going to continue my conversation now and shit on your festival, but in a really good way. So we show up to this festival. We see the lineup, and it's just every fucking indie kid's dream, right?
Yeah.
Impala.
Take what we look like,
Yeah.
and just apply that to.
But I don't do it. But add the carabiner keys. You have your keys on you. No. Add the carabiner keys, and maybe one of the. Thank God you don't wear the little beanies, and I don't do the little beanie.
These shoes are now a big part of it.
The cuffed jeans, right? Anyway, so you see kids like us, and you're like, oh, what's their favorite music festival? It's Desert Daze. Time Impala. They also had King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. They had Babe Rainbow. They had
psychedelic porn crumpets.
Boy Pablo? I think was there. Beach House. Just Pond. Just every stereotypical indie kid. It's basically the Australian psych rock show. Mild Life. Bowie, relax.
Hey, bud.
Bowie loves Mild Life. He gets really excited when we talk about it. But
it was a 10-year anniversary of the festival, and also Lonerism was turning 10 as well, and they like kind of collaborated with Tame Impala to like really promote the show as being like this big thing, and they played Lonerism in its entirety. Just like a nice little one-time thing, and it really blew up. And I think they just like oversold the tickets.
Well, so we show up
by a substantial amount.
We show up on Thursday night. Friday morning starts the festival. Thursday night we show up. We showed up late. They said box office would be open till 11. We showed up at 9:30 or something like that. We get to the box office. I get my ticket. Karl's next in line, and they say, we're not giving out any more tickets tonight. Keep in mind, Karl's camping with us. So we're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what do you mean you guys said box office was open till 11? You can't do this. And everyone's kind of around us, like, saying the same shit. Like, whoa, like, we don't have anywhere to go. Like, we're camping in there tonight. You have to, whatever. Whoa, Bowie. Okay, all right, go over here. So, long story short, we somehow get Karl his ticket, and we go into the festival. There's this huge line of cars, maybe 150, 200 cars, something like that. We're in the short line. There's a longer line on a different road. That one's probably like 500 cars, something like that.
They didn't cap Camp Pass sales, obviously.
Yeah, so we're talking to
filled all of their campsites, and then they were scrambling to try and figure out where to put the last, 1,000 people that showed up late.
Yeah. So we're talking to people like, what's going on? And that's kind of what we gathered is they oversold camping, and they, I guess, had to emergency buy more land for the campsite. But
it just wasn't set up. The other campgrounds all had porta potties and shit. There was none of that. There was bathrooms, but that's 3 stalls in the men's room, probably 5 stalls in the ladies' room, 2 showers. That's it. They did their best effort to keep toilet paper stocked, and these are pretty nice campgrounds. Yeah. There's running water, there's fucking showers with hot water, which is more than you can say about most music festivals.
But here's the thing. So we're in line, we're talking to people, they're like, oh, we've been here for 3.5 hours. We showed up within 15 minutes, the line was moving, so we lucked out perfectly. We get there, again, emergency buy this land. It's having real Firefest vibes. Oh shit, these guys do, we're fucked. We're in the desert. We don't know, these guys are not prepared for us. But there was no other group that could have went to that festival and had as good a time as everybody did.
Everybody just adapted immediately and made the best of it. It was awesome.
I heard this phrase out of everyone I talked to was, wow, this is a total shit show, but it is what it is. That was everybody's mentality, and it made for an absolute amazing weekend.
The night before that night, right? It was Thursday. We decided to go and walk around, and we walked into the festival grounds. You remember that? We were drunk as fuck. We walked into the festival grounds because the fences weren't even built yet.
Yeah, they were still building the fences around the actual festival,
and
not
we
the
just
camping.
Walked in. And we made it pretty far into the festival grounds before a guy on a golf cart's like, hey, are you guys working? And he's definitely trying to give us a job to do. And we're like, no, we're just wondering. And he's like, okay, we just want you to be safe. So I'm going to have you guys walk back the way you came.
He thought we were tripping sack.
Yeah,
he was like,
oh,
I just want, make sure you guys it's dangerous in here. There's a lot of stuff, people moving around. I just want to make sure you're safe.
He had like 3 empty beers in the cup holder of the golf cart.
Yeah.
Like,
But this festival is obviously a fucking shit show when it comes to the like.
but like everybody was about it.
Or
It
yeah,
was
exactly.
sick.
Everyone was about it. The one thing Desert Daze have a little bit more medical attention because we are at Tame Impala, and I've seen Tame 3 times, something like that. Without fail, it seems like it's not going to be that insane of a show because it's Tame Impala. They're pretty much pop music, but it's a pretty visually intense show. And they usually headline, so everyone's kind of dehydrated. Maybe they're trying drugs, whatever, maybe for the first time. And then usually, without fail, when Tame Impala plays Elephant, there are these lasers that shoot across the crowd, and it's very trippy. So what I said, I saw them 3 times. All 3 times, as soon as that starts, people start dropping like flies. Literally just like all around us. You're watching it. I know it's coming. The lasers go. The person next to us just, fuck. Just he hits the deck. Lots of people. It happens every single time.
You can tell, like, but with each time we've seen them, like Kevin Parker, like says more and more about like, yeah, just be safe and watch out for one another while you're out there. It's like you can tell he wants to say like, cause you're fucked. Like this shit's crazy. Like
I mean, I've been to some pretty intense, like visually, like I've been to EDM shows. I know what it's about. I've seen Rez. But yeah, so I think it's not any more intense than that kind of stuff. I think people just they're not ready for it. And I think maybe they're just, I don't know. Tame Impala is like, it's like the Bunny Hill of psychedelic music, So I think that might be like the first time people are like trying drugs or something like that. And they just aren't prepared for, what's going to happen to their brain. And then they just hit the deck or something like that.
yeah.
But
It's
anyway,
also just yeah. The one thing that about Desert Daze, I think that was just hilarious, but just like part of what was making it a shit show is just like they did not like plan for waste management at all.
Oh my God.
Like there was
No.
like no trash cans anywhere. Like you had to like find and like seek out dumpsters like in the parking lots near the festival, but like they didn't like set up trash cans anywhere, like at the campsites especially.
Yeah.
And like everybody just like built their own like garbage mountain at near the bathroom. And
I hope,
I guess it worked,
yeah,
but
I was gonna say like I hope we're not talking like this and like, wow, that sounds like a shitty festival. It like was, but it was the best festival I've ever been to.
it was like everybody was very like everyone understood how much it felt like, oh, this is being held together with fucking scotch tape. Yeah. Like let's just
chill.
Let's make it as fun as possible. It's also a very small festival too.
True.
In comparison to like the large festivals that a lot of people are used to going to, like Live Nation owned
Coachella,
big guys,
Firefly, even like Bonnaroo.
Bonnaroo and Lollapalooza. These are all like, I mean, I feel like 50,000 to 100,000 people, right?
Yeah. Desert Daze is a 10,000 person festival.
Yeah.
It's independent too. It's like their own thing. They're not owned by Live Nation.
And it's wonderful.
But they had a massive year with Tame headlining the 10-year anniversary and whatnot. King Gizzard. And it was they were saying that it was their biggest year yet, which is why it was such a shit show for them, because they did not expect. They weren't prepared for that many people to show up because this was the first time they ever did it that big. So now I feel like Desert Daze is probably going to be on the map a good bit when it comes to the festival circuit.
There's more campsites that they could continue to purchase. They're just going to increase the size of the festival. I just hope that they don't have to change the venue again, because
it's on a lake, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's such a like an amazing setting. And like that I guess it was Friday where we were like waiting for the festival to open up, and it was like delayed because they were like building the stage or whatever. And everybody was in the water, and they tried to be like, you can't go in the water yet. the water will open at 3 o'clock. And we're like, what are they gonna do? Like, we're going swimming, bro. But it's just a really, really, really fun because there's portions of the beach that are outside of the festival grounds, so you can just go in and you don't have to wait for the festival to open. And then the majority of the beach is in the festival grounds, which is also really cool. The main stage is right up on the water, which is also just such a cool experience. And I hope they don't have to change venues. They already did. This isn't the original venue anyways, but I think this is very perfect for what it is. But obviously, if it continues to increase in size, then
also the thing that I really thoroughly enjoyed was their lineup. Not only did they have like some headliners that I was really excited to see, like Tame Impala and King Giz, but a lot of the you look at a festival lineup and there's 3 headliners, usually maybe 4, and then your sub headliners and then your microscopic bands. When you look at Coachella, those microscopic bands are like over 100,000 monthly listener kind of bands, right? Desert Daze was putting people on stage with 2,000 monthly listeners. Very small. And so shout out to Desert Daze because the bands they cure, I loved every band I saw. There was not a single band that got on stage that I was like, oh, what are they doing here? The music was perfectly curated, and Desert Daze did not they weren't clout chasing when it came to what headliners were we gonna, or maybe not headliners, but who are we gonna put on the stage? They didn't give a fuck about those numbers. I think they truly understood, okay, this music, we got to put the music first. And they definitely put the music first before toilet paper, before trash cans, before, general building of sets and stages. They really put the music first. So shout out to fucking Desert Daze. If you're in the area of southern-ish California, you know what? Don't go because you're going to fucking make the ticket prices go up for me and Karl.
Yeah, fuck you. No new people. It sucked. Don't go. It wasn't the best weekend ever.
Yeah, it was hot. It was 125.
It was really hot, and it was in the desert. There wasn't actually showers there. You couldn't shower. You had to just be dirty.
There was poop on the floor.
There were spiders. Fuck. I had something I wanted to say about it, but I can't remember what it was.
The dust. That actually was intense. Desert Daze, you should do something about. You should hand out N95s at the front fucking gate.
Facts.
The dust was so crazy. So
you should fucking put sprinklers on the beach so it's mud instead of dust.
Yeah,
that's probably just as bad, but for different reasons. But still,
we're gonna run out of time.
One stage is on the beach and it's all sand, but it's not like sand. It's like dirt and
gravel.
Sand mixed together and gravel. It's just you kick up so much dust. We'll pin a video. There's a couple videos of the King Gizzard fucking pits.
We will?
They're crazy. Yeah, fuck it. It'll be right here.
You mean he means I will?
We'll find it. It takes 2 seconds. Screenshot.
He doesn't
right here.
know.
It's screenshot.
You don't know anything.
It takes a screenshot. And you put it right there. It takes 2 seconds.
R.I.P. to the lady next to us right before King Gizzard. If you've ever seen King Giz live, we got to wrap this up. But if you've ever seen King Giz live, amazing. But a lot of their songs are kind of intense. I Am Gaia, Infest the Rat's Nest, that whole album, right? And they have such a diverse discography. This poor lady was like King Gizzard. She had a lawn chair and she was sitting in the lawn chair right up front. And she goes, wow, everyone's standing. She's like, are you guys going to mosh? Now, if you've ever been to a King Giz show, that's a stupid question. Yeah. So, R.I.P. to her.
She's dead now.
I think she might be, dude. Within the first 30 seconds, the whole front of the stage was just a giant mosh pit. And with that dust, you couldn't even see. It was so fucking intense.
Yeah.
We had bandanas on to try to counteract the dust. Didn't do shit. I was still wheezing.
It was rough. The last thing I was gonna say was just the other thing that made the whole vibe of that festival just amazing is that every person that got up on stage also you could tell was psyched to be there. From the
psych rock.
Yeah. just like everybody from like the smaller bands all the way to like Tame Impala, everybody was like really excited to be back at that festival. Like, cause so the year Tame Impala got rained out, King Giz was a co-headliner of that of that same year, and like this was Psychedelic Porn Crumpet's first show back in North America since the pandemic.
Since the pandy.
And yeah, just everybody was having like a fucking great time. And it was awesome.
Amazing festival. We're gonna run out of time here. Bye everybody.
My fly was down that whole time.